Howdy folks, how are we? Are we well? Been a while, hasn't it? I know, but it's time. It's time to focus the mind. Time to remind myself how to fight again. And here, with this varied array of different fighters, this is how we start. Well, welcome. I haven't flown in ages. In fact, the last time I flew properly was for my last video, and that was, well, more than a month ago. It's probably 2 months ago now, something like that. So today then, I need a refresher, and what better way than to jump straight into some PvP. It's the best way to get it all back, I think. It just puts the extra fun pressure. The more you fly, I think, the better you get. So this is going to be a rough start, I'm telling you. I can already feel it. And this genuinely is my first recording after having so much time off. So I'm genuinely not expecting great things here today, seriously. Unless it's that bad, then obviously I'll start again. And yes, if I do, I will tell you. The sniper is the first thing you learn because it helps you keep your distance from the target. The knife, for example, is the last thing you learn. Anybody remember that line? Classic film, Leon? Or for some of you out west, I think it was called The Assassin, I think. Anyway, so let's play it easy and simple, just to get the feeling flowing again. BVR, nice and easy in the 16, using the height and speed with the long shots. Doesn't make you a great dogfighter, I know, doing all that all the time, but as a refresher, it'll make a good start. In any case, it's about putting myself at the right place at the right time, and of course, ultimately, keeping myself out of harm's way. A few little tips. I'll keep it brief. I know you all want me to get to the good stuff, all the cinematic stuff, but I thought I may as well just point out a few things. I spent a lot of time in the 18 and this feels odd. Okay, come on, it's not that hard. I will forget something you watch. Okay, I'll do this like most of you out there will likely do, unless you hot start, of course. I do like ramp starting. One thing to note, if you are ramp starting by using the Windows Home key and want to speed it up a little bit, you can switch the ILS alignment to stored once you see the knob turn to norm, and I'll show you in a bit. Okay, I like to do this bit manually, but for you guys, I'm just pressing the Windows Home now. I'll also point out the steps to take if you do start hot, because it will leave a few vital steps out, which if you don't catch, you'll get killed and have no idea you were being shot at. Also, you wonder why you can't operate some of the weapons too, but I'll let you know when everything's sorted. Fear not, people, this is not going to be a full ramp start. We're not going to wait for the whole sequence, don't worry. I just want to show you a quick few things. Okay, we've passed the 20 RPM threshold here, and we've taken the throttle out of idle. Now we spool up. Most fighter jets, when they are in theatre, will have their engineers sorting out the plane after the pilot lands and shuts down. Once they've done their maintenance checks and done whatever it is they need to do to make sure the jet is combat ready, they will then sort out the jet's alignment process and store it. So when the pilot returns to their jet the next time they fly, they will be ready to go. I mean, that's the idea. Here we go then. So looking down, just keeping an eye. It's any moment there. There you go. Right, it's switched. So all we need to do is left click it once to bring it to stored heading. We'll start the process again, but don't worry, this will now be quicker. If we look at the data entry display here, if we look at the INS numbers there, we're looking for 02110 on the data entry panel. Once it's climbed down to that, it will then start to increase, and that's fine. We're ready to go. Next, we want to make sure that the threat warning auxiliary is on. Power the jammer, power the RWR, otherwise you're not going to get any notifications. Chaff and flare, make sure those are on. Program to 1 and mode to bypass, because I like to chaff and flare manually. You can set it up to work with a data cartridge so that it happens automatically and responds automatically to threats, but I like to do it manually. Make sure the hard points are on as well, so otherwise when you refuel, rearm, you won't be able to operate the weapons that are stationed on those hard points. There you go, look, INS now is fully aligned. We're well above 02110, which is the start really of when you're free to go. So the only remaining thing now to do is to put the INS from stored to nav. Don't muck about, press it once and let it hover over norm, otherwise it's going to reset again. Make sure it's just 2 steady clicks straight to nav. I think it's about a second or 2, so just turn it straight there. Well, I was going to go into the systems now and get ourselves airborne, but I've just seen the server restart message. So it's probably a good opportunity actually now to end that first chapter before we begin the main video proper. This particular server is the Growling Sidewinder server here today. Some of you may remember a video of mine in the past. So it's a revisit of that. PvP, BVR, here we go. Sit back and enjoy. 2, 1, 2. Testicles, 1, 2. Testicles, 1, 2. Nope. Here we are then, in the F-16 here, right next to somebody else actually, who's just momentarily spawned next to me, so it's always good to wait and see what they're carrying as well to get an idea of what they've got planned, because of course nobody uses SRS radio on this server sadly, so they're probably all on Discord, aren't they? But never mind. Okay, so he looks like he's in air-to-air configuration, then he's got a jammer pod underneath, so it'll be interesting. Right, okie dokie then. Right, I'm just carrying the 6 sticks and 3 bags, no jammer, so I actually need to start playing with the jammer actually. It's been a while now and I wonder if anything's changed with it. Right, so let's get moving anyway, and we'll sort the systems out when we get in the air. Okay, just make sure the hard points are on, which they are. Also, just checking all systems down there. Just glance everything over. I'll check them again when we're in the air. Always like to do that. So, master arm on, laser arm. Probably wouldn't do that in reality, but okay. Just rolling forward here. Wing first for the fuel tanks. Just spotted stores configuration, warning down the bottom right. I must have by habit cancelled the warning off the eyebrow there, but just looking down there, just want to make sure I'm in category 3 mode. Yeah, we've got traffic ahead there, F-18, howdy. He was politely waiting for me to move forward. Okay, so yes, category 3. I cleared the caution light, but when you're carrying heavy ordnance, you'll need to be in category 3, and then when you're not and you're light and you're ready to fight, you just put it into category 1. Okay, here we go. Let's get out of here. Absolutely stunning. I'd forgotten just how beautiful this is. Yes, it's definitely going to be a lesson today. A little bit apprehensive actually. This has been a long time. Okay, let's put that attitude hold on there so the nose doesn't dip or climb. We've got 3 modes in the F-16, which on my Viper TQS, same on the Warthog and the old Cougar if you've still got that, there's a 3-way switch on it that replicates the same as in the F-16. So I've just got into dogfight mode. On the right screen when I'm in dogfight mode I want the HSD to be on so I know where I am. And then I'm just going to click the switch forward into the center position, and this is where I can have air to ground, air to air, or stores jettison. So for this mode I want stores jettison because I'm in air to air, so I want to be able to drop the tanks, the 2 tanks on the wings with a pickle button, because that's why we selected wings first, and then click the switch to the furthest most position, which is the missile override mode. Have that set to the HSD on the right. So the idea is that in dogfight mode, click all the way. I'm already set. When I want to drop the tanks, I click it forward once, and then I'm ready to drop the tanks, and then click forward again for the missile override. And I'm set there as well. So I put the radar onto 1 azimuth and 1 bar there at 80 miles because the F-16 radar is a little bit weak, so I want all that radar energy concentrated on a single target, not wasting time looking high and looking low and swooping too much left and right. Right, okay, just glancing over the systems. We're almost at 20,000 feet now, so I think it's time to full burn and get out of here. Right, that fuel flow there needs to come down, so we need to get some height. I've got into full burn at 20,000 feet plus, but yeah, that's got to come down by half, otherwise we're not going to have much fuel over at the target area. By the way, I may as well take this opportunity to share this with you. I was having an interesting conversation with a friend of mine about knots and the Mach number. Well, as we can see here, the knots are 460, and underneath, and that's the important bit, well, they're both important, but below it, there is my Mach number, which is 1.11. Notice how my Mach number is increasing, but the knots there, they're falling. So am I getting slower or faster? See, this looks like a contradictory phenomenon of sorts, but it's actually the result of air pressure and temperature in this mode that we're at now. So look, it's going to take me a long time to explain this in this video, but if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description. If I look down to my right here, you'll see we've got three switches. We've got calibrated airspeed, CAS, true airspeed. So if I click it into true airspeed, you can see the numbers there is a lot higher. Look, 667, 668, it's climbing with the Mach numbers. It's very similar readout actually to ground speed as well. But just put that back to combat airspeed. I keep saying combat airspeed, calibrated airspeed. But calibrated airspeed is, as the name suggests, it's always calibrating the airspeed of the pressure that it's reading, because it's a measure of air density and pressure, but it's set to read air density at sea level. So as I go higher, the air density gets lighter, so it's calibrating all the time and therefore displaying a lower number. So as I go higher, that's decreasing because it's calibrating for the loss in pressure. But the Mach number is increasing because the speed of sound decreases due to air temperature. So the cooler the air, the longer it takes for sound to travel, and it's really cold the higher up you go. There's a lot more to it than that, but hopefully that'll make some sense to you. But if you really want to get a reading of how fast you're going, go ground speed, and that's what you would use to measure how long it's going to take you to get from A to B. Calibrated airspeed is good to use because it gives you an indication of how much performance you've got at any given sort of height, and that's why really you use it. Just looking behind me here, contrailing, so I'm just waiting. It's about 39ish any second now, and it'll disappear. I want it gone because we're approaching a mountain range. Still there. Bloody hell. Time of year, time of day, but that it's still contrailing. Come on. I want to get rid of the contrailing because as you go over the mountain regions, if you're up against someone who really knows what they're doing, it's possible for them to use your contrail as a visual cue to put their eyepiece over and send a Heatseeker 9X your way. As long as I stay low enough and avoid our AWACS, then I'll never know they're down there, and then I'll never know that I've just been hit by a 9X. So it's a good tactic, but only a few people have ever done that to me. But yes, excellent. Contrail gone, brilliant. Let's press on. Okay, that's enabled me to bring the nose down a little bit as well, so we're perfectly high enough now. So it's just a case of trying to gain as much speed as we possibly can. We've got two F-18s out in front, one to my left and one that's arcing from my 12 o'clock and coming across my nose slowly, so I'm not sure if he's fired already. Being an 18, of course, we don't share STN numbers. That's on the HSD there, and some enemy low level out there, and somebody looks like they've just taken off. They're climbing. Got Su-30 on the RWR there, as you can see, the diamond. So he's looking at me, and whether he's tracking me or fired at me I don't know, but here we go. Well, there's the 18 to my 11. Yeah, there's the actually there's two jets flying in formation out in front. Just saw a double reading there on the radar. I'm just trying to see if I can pick up the target there, but it's too far out, the radar return. It's just too weak. The 16 really, at this height and speed, as long as they're coming at us pretty high as well, we might just get them at about 60 miles. Currently we're at about 70-ish as a guess, so just got to be patient, just wait for it to get a little bit closer. Yeah, whoever that is just gone straight across my nose to the left there. The Hornet there is still out in front at 39,000 feet. I think that was the one that took off with me. Oh, I'm surprised I haven't got a return yet. We're now in the 60s, it's another F-16. I reckon that's coming straight out towards us. I reckon he's just taken off as well, so we should be much faster. Here we go. Yes, got a lock. Box 3. Just hold that there and just bring the bar back down again. Yeah, the 18's fired as well. Oh, I've lost the lock. Lost the lock. I'm gonna have to give him another one. Fox 3. Yeah, gave him another one. Yeah, gave him another one. Fox 3 there. So I don't know why it lost the lock. He wasn't doing anything specifically. He wasn't doing any hard manoeuvres there, so I'm not quite sure why I lost the lock. But 18's fired as well. Just got to hold it, just crank it to the left. I think he probably fired. 18's gone to my right. I'm guessing he's fired. In fact, yep, I see the smoke trail, it's left him. He has definitely fired at me. Has he got me? Has he fired? No, we might have got away with that one actually. I think oh no, okay. Oh god, that's a late warning. That is close, that is very close. Very close. See it? Oh god, I see it. Oh my god, that was close. That was very close. Difficult to imagine anybody else being any closer than that. I can't imagine many people being quite that close to a missile flying in formation with it. That was... I even closed my eyes at one point for just a brief second. I was expecting a bang. There's only been 116 killed so far. We have definitely got a wiggle on here. We're less than a 7,100, so we can lose the tank here. For the remaining tank, you may have noticed I just hit the emergency jettison there without having to use the jettison page. It doesn't dispose of your air-to-air weapons in the F-16, so it's I suppose it's not a full emergency jettison. Barely ever made Mach 2 in a dive, but we are doing pretty good here. Pretty good here. I'm just bringing it round at this height as well. We are really motoring. got a high flyer at 32,000 feet here. There is an exchange by the looks of it with somebody down low level who is much closer, but he is going away. But I do fancy these ones in the distance. What I might be able to do is squeeze a long shot off, and if the guy down low does turn around, I mean, he is turning around, although there is another jet to the left of me at 43,000 feet, so hopefully he can take the bait. Push the nose up here, get it above 50,000 feet, give all that missile the energy it needs. We are Fox 3. Very mindful of the guy down low who is very close to me. I've got to be careful here, but I am really fast. Really fast, so if he does fire at me, I should be able to have all the energy I need to get away. So he's quite close. I'm just holding on to the lock. I'm running Fox 3 at him. I'm going to assume he's fired at me. From him yet, but there he is, look. He's running away from me. I've got twice the speed on him. Now he is actually going quite quickly, according to the numbers, but I don't think we're going to catch him. I'm not going to catch him in time before we get too deep into enemy territory. Okay, I'm going to loose him and go for the high flyer. Fox 3. And that low level has turned around. I thought he might do that. He will have fired at me, and he's actually quite close there, so I'm just going to crank this and then get away. I mean, look at my speed, almost Mach 2. Do with some support on my exit. I'm still waiting for that missile warning, but I am nice and fast. In fact, there's my help down there. You buddy. Yeah, there's the missile coming in. I thought there might be, but I'm really not concerned at all. Not at this speed, not at this height. Yeah, we'll be all right. In fact, there he is behind me diving. Yeah, I'm not worried. Okay, I am worried, but I should be okay. We're fine. It was just a bit of a late warning. Sometimes you do, yeah. Do you know what? I'm just going to dive just in case, but we should be fine. We should be fine. It's a ghost return. Just in case, just go a little bit of a turn there, just to bleed some of that energy. It was just a ghost return, I'm sure of it. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Whoa! Not bad. Not bad. Let's get home. Come on, let's go. Not bad, not bad. Nothing to rave home about, nothing to be too proud of there, but didn't get shot down. I think I need to calm down now and just throttle back a bit, otherwise I'm not going to have enough fuel to get back. Nice little landing that. Almost no sound on touchdown. Nice. Not bad. Not bad. Not amazing. Not great. Definitely can tell it's been a while. In fact, when I came down, I remembered it was back in March when I flew the F-16 last, for what is a dynamic campaign video, I don't know if you remember that one. But work done around the house now, holidays are now over. I almost managed to get a video through actually a while back, but there wasn't enough time to get it done, and then of course an update made the track files all messed up, so I had to just leave it. Spent some time with a new friend of mine and took him through the motions with his own very impressive F-16 cockpit simulator. Very, very impressive. Reached out to me and invited me to come down and do a demo for him. So that was a pleasure. Thank you for that. Again, if you're watching this, you know who you are. It's that actually that prompted me to get back into the cockpit myself and refresh the memory for this video. So my encounter with that missile further back now feels silly. I could have done a number of things and reduced the stresses there for myself, but I mean, I could have turned away from it and then back into it. But I was torn between notching it and turning it, and I couldn't make up my mind. So yes, very rusty indeed. My aggression was non-existent as well, so, but again, for a first go, it wasn't bad. Not bad at all, I guess. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found the tips useful there. If you want me to expand on any of it, please let me know in the comments. If you want to support the channel and help keep it alive and kicking, I do have a buy me a coffee link. Also, if you want to look around the cockpit as I do, there is a link in the description for that too. Right, on that note, I think it's time to shoot off. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.